Good evening, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I welcome Mr. Ishan Gandhi, and he will talk about Carrageenan and its use in food industries. I now request the speaker to begin.
Okay, hello everyone. How are you all? All are good. Myself, Ishan Gandhi from Chemicaloids, Gujarat. We are specialized in manufacturing of carrageenan and in application in food industry. So basically, first I'll introduce myself. We are into around 12 to 13 years in this industry. The carrageenan is being extracted from seaweeds. We can call it is actually harvested from the sea. Uh, we can get it around, from regions like Tamil Nadu or some Gujarat coast where farmers grow the seaweeds, and it is actually been harvested by the sea farmers for around 45 days, and then it is dried and sold to us manufacturers like us. Basically, carrageenan is an food ingredient with INS number 407. What is an INS number? INS number is actually an ingredient number, serial number. When you open any packets, like when you eat some food or fruit or something like that, in every packet there are written some ingredients. When you see INS 407, it means carrageenan. Carrageenan is a hydrocolloid which binds water or retain water and retain the moisture of the product. So it can be used as a stabilizer or a gelling agent as well. There are three types of carrageenan: kappa, iota, and lambda. Kappa carrageenan is basically uh, uh, makes a hard gel, and also it is a hot soluble product. It gets soluble at around 80 to 90 degrees Celsius, and it gels at room temperature after boiling. Iota is partially cold and partially hot soluble. It makes a weak gel, a thin gel, and retains water. A lambda is a cold soluble carrageenan, and it is a cold. It does not make a gel. It's just a viscosity agent. It gives a good viscosity. Right now, kappa and iota is commercially viable. Everywhere in all the food industry, kappa and iota is used, and more of the kappa is used everywhere. Like iota is used 20% and kappa is used 80% everywhere. Kappa carrageenan, the main applications we can say in the food industry is like meat industry. When you say sausages, frankfurters, then chicken tikka or chicken nuggets to bind the water and to make it juicy. Also, it goes into the dairy industry like ice creams. With GMS or with CMC, with other hydrocolloids like guar gum, carrageenan plays an important part in ice creams. It retains water as well, and it does not allow the ice cream to form the ice crystallization. What is ice crystallization? Let's see. Um, when you make an ice cream at home and you just add GMS or CMC, it gives a good thickness. But when you put it in the freezer, there are formation of crystallization the next day or some days. But when carrageenan is added to at a certain level, there is no ice crystallization formation. So in dairy industry also, when you add in the flavored milk, or when you add in the flavored milk or cheese, it gets a chewiness of the products. Like for cold milk application, like flavored milk like Amul Cool or other brands who has a cold milk, when it is added in a little quantity, it gets a very good taste. It enhances the taste buds of the product. So carrageenan is actually a specialty ingredient, functional ingredient. It gives a vital support to a food product. For example, in a brewery, a normal brew in a normal beer, it takes around 6 to 8 months to make a good beer. But we are with the help of yeast. But when when the carrageenan is added to the beer production, it gives a crystal clear beer, and the process goes very fast. So carrageenan basically, it's, as I said, it's a functional ingredient, and it's very specialty product. Uh, uh, till now, is there any questions I can answer from your side?
Sir, you can finish your talk and later I will take up questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, after beer and dairy and meat industry, carrageenan also plays a vital role in a dessert pudding, water desserts, and jelly puddings. Like when you go to a departmental store, there are jellies, cup jellies, or there are milk jellies. The gelling effect is given by carrageenan. Yes, you might say there is agar-agar, but agar-agar nowadays is a costly product. Agar-agar also does not form a reversible gel. What is a reversible gel? For example, when you make a jelly with carrageenan, for example, you take a water, put 10 grams of carrageenan, boil it, and again boil it, and after coming at a room temperature, it gives a good gel. Now, what is reversible? Now you think the gel is not that good, or gel is not that hard, or you need a very hard gel. So carrageenan, kappa carrageenan gel is a reversible. Now you again boil the water, add little extra carrageenan again, and then once it cools down, it again makes a good gel. So agar-agar is irreversible gel, but carrageenan gives a reversible gel. For example, also on the price competitiveness part, agar-agar is almost double the cost of carrageenan. So nowadays in the confectionery industry, this water desserts and jelly puddings are a bakery or a confectionery products. The margins are quite low and it's a competitive product. So using agar-agar is quite costly. So they use carrageenan. Carrageenan is quite half the cost of the agar-agar. Also, carrageenan is nowadays a very easily available. Carrageenan was first invented in Philippines, and then the seaweeds of carrageenan, the raw material is easily available everywhere. For example, when you say of the raw material of carrageenan, the seaweeds, uh, Philippines and Indonesia are the hub of seaweeds, and maybe around 10 to 12% of their economy is supported by the seaweeds business. So for India, for carrageenan is something new because we never used it before. Right now, the trends are increasing day by day. For example, we started carrageenan back in 2012, where we had so much of less application. In dairy or in ice creams, they never use carrageenan. They might use agar-agar, GMS or something CMC. But when the R&D goes on, when there is an education in the food in technology, like there's a good support from you say Mysore Food Technology, they have a high they the scientists take trials to different companies. They can think that carrageenan is also viable for different application. Now, apart from this water and jelly pudding, there is also a milk jelly. Milk jelly is basically a jelly or a jelly pudding from is basically used in is a premix. And as you know, in Ramadan, uh, Muslims do use milk jelly. They eat milk jelly with different flavors like pista, kesar. In Gujarat side or in Maharashtra side, pista, vanilla, and kesar goes good with this flavor. They in milk jelly they also add carrageenan because carrageenan reacts good with the milk protein and makes a jelly very hard. So there also people used to use eat agar agar, but after carrageenan is has a good wide application, they replaced carrageenan with agar agar in milk pudding as well. The softness, the gelatin structure of the milk jelly, they they get very good with the carrageenan as well. Now, again, we talk about the other applications. We talked of iota carrageenan. Now, iota carrageenan is basically a small market, but it is a commercial market. Iota carrageenan can be a good fat replacer. What is a fat replacer? Basically, FSSI, as per FSSI, some sort of fats has to be removed. There are saturated fat, there are unsaturated fat. The healthy fats are unsaturated fat, as you know. Iota carrageenan in meat industry, they use as a fat replacer. When they add iota, it describes as an unsaturated fat. So they give juiciness of the product, they give long-term stability. I understand that iota has a weak structure, weak gel, but the gel formation is for a long-term stability. So in the many parts of the world, iota is used as a fat replacer. Now talking about every application of carrageenan, like meat application, like dairy application, water deserts application, or brewery application, the most major market is the meat application. South America, uh, Europe, and also Middle East. They use a lot of carrageenan in their sausages, in their roll cuts for binding the product. Like uh, the binding the product, they use a lot of carrageenan. Uh, Commercially, carrageenan, if we see as a production count annually, it is being produced around 1 million ton or something. And from that, 80% goes into the meat industry. Now, the dosage of carrageenan is always less, I mean, always a minimal, like 0.8%, 0.5%. In dairy, in ice creams, it's only 0.03%. But it gives a very good effect. Like it's, I think, functional ingredient, like water jelly. When you go to a store, you see a aeroplane jelly or a in yeah, in South there is Flubbers cup jelly. They use jelly puddings. They produce jelly puddings in cups. So maximum 0.8%. Like in 1 kg of production, they use 8 gram of carrageenan. So a thickening agent, also a gelling agent and a stabilizer. It's a win-win situation for everyone. Yeah. Now the adulteration part of the carrageenan as well. It has to be discussed as well. Due to the rising cost and also the competitiveness and also the lack of education, I say, in the manufacturers, what they do is they want a cheap carrageenan, but they do not know in buying cheap carrageenan, the end dosage goes very high. For example, buying a Chinese carrageenan, the cost would be reduced, but the dosage, for example, if they use my carrageenan or other carrageenan, it's like Philippines or Indonesian, the dosage goes almost 40 to 50% higher. This would affect the end cost of the product. This would affect the end texture of the product as well. And at the end, the manufacturer doesn't earn anything. So it's basically something that adulteration always exists in the market. It also exists in the carrageenan as well. The texture, yes, the texture which is very important in the food industry. is achieved by doing certain trials of carrageenan with the end product. We do have application lab, as we do not eat meat, so we have application lab for ice creams, water desserts and jellies, and flavor release carrageenan as well. Now, as carrageenan or a food ingredient, which always the product has are always it's an ingredient. So obviously it has to be a pH sensitive or a pH neutral. Carrageenan is obviously a pH sensitive product. It doesn't form gel when it has a low pH below 4. So always the product has to be maintained at around 4.2 pH. The higher the pH, the stronger the gel. Ma'am, now this is the application I discussed with them. I would love to hear the questions if then, so I can also answer.
Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful talk. I will take up the questions now. The first
Okay.
question is, what are the potential health concerns associated with carrageenan consumption, sir?
See, every ingredient, when taken in a certain amount, it has an health issues. There were some parameters, there were some discussions by WHO and FAO that carrageenan can be dangerous. But carrageenan is actually a natural product. It is derived from seaweed. It has a natural fiber. So there are no evidence as yet that it is dangerous for the children or it is dangerous for any industry or any food products. Like for example, carrageenan in ice cream, it goes just in 10 liters, only 3 grams. So there is no physical effect of to any person who is consuming the ice cream containing carrageenan.
Okay. How is carrageenan used in vegan and vegetarian product as a substitute for gelatin?
Yes, that's a good question. See, carrageenan is derived from seaweed. Seaweed is actually harvested from sea. It's a vegetarian gelatin and also a better strength than carrageenan. In India, basically a Hindu country, there are two things: a red logo and a green logo. Green logo is for the vegetarian products. Red logo is for the non-veg products. Now, gelatin, after adding the gelatin to a water, it needs below 20 degree for 6 hours to form a gel. But in but for carrageenan, you do not have to freeze below 20 degree for 6 hours. You just need to maintain the temperature at room temperature at 35 degree to form a gel. Normally, carrageenan gel forms in 30 minutes to 1 hour maximum.
Okay. What are the benefits of using carrageenan in low fat and reduced fat food products?
See, iota carrageenan has a fiber content. Low fat products are basically produced with vitamins, uh, fiber addition, and so carrageenan is also a fat replacer. So it also forms a gel. It makes a chewiness, and it also supports as a fiber content. So it can be used as a in the health supplements as well.
Okay. How does carrageenan improve the texture of processed meats?
Okay. See, if, carrageenan, the first thing, the carrageenan, why it is used in the meat products. For example, when you take a 1 kg of meat with a 1 kg of water, when they boil it, it sucks around 80% of water, or it gives a yield of around 80%. Just a minute, ma'am. Uh, whom basically it increases the yield of the meat. When the total yield comes around 95%. For example, means 1 kg plus 1 kg water is 2 kg of product. So after cooking with carrageenan, you get nearly about 1 kg 900 grams or 1 kg cooking loss because it binds water. Other benefit of carrageenan in meat is they it gives juiciness to the sausage and structure. It gives juiciness and also it gives a stretchability to the texture of the sausages or to the chicken nuggets.
Okay. What is the environmental impact of carrageenan production?
Can you repeat again, ma'am?
Sir, what is the environmental impact of carrageenan production?
Basically, environment. If I'm not understanding wrong. You're saying that is there any harm to the environment?
Yeah, into the environment in this production.
See, the process of carrageenan is so simple. It's a hydrolyzed based production, and actually seaweed is good for the environment. Harvesting a seaweed actually is a is helps in supporting supporting the environment by just neutraling the carbon emissions. For example, in Morocco, they did a research uh, like cultivating 1 acre of seaweeds. They 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 got a carbon neutral for around 1200 to 1400 cars of pollution. Uh, Cars of pollution, that much they can emit the carbon from the atmosphere. So carrageenan basically is a green industry. Uh, I can say it is a green industry, but it depends on how it is produced. Like hydrolysis process is so easy, is a green industry. But when you go for a alcohol treatment, which doesn't, which is a old treatment for a refined carrageenan. But nowadays they also do not do many manufacturers do not use alcohol treatment also. They do other ways to extract the refined carrageenan. So basically, there is a zero impact to the environment. And obviously, harvesting seaweeds and using more and more seaweeds for carrageenan is good for the environment also, because there are data that seaweeds do support green and they clean the environment by sucking the carbons from the environment.
Okay. What are the
So,
main products and services offered by Chemicolites, sir?
see, we have carrageenans and locust bean gum. Carrageenan and locust bean. Carrageenan is a thickening agent, gelling agent, and LBG, locust bean gum, is a gel promoter. Like is a boosting of a carrageenan gel. For example, when you add carrageenan and an LBG, it boosts the gel strength of the carrageenan. Our main applications are ice creams, dairy, UHTs, cheese, meat and meat products, uh, brewery, and water desserts and puddings. Also, some flavor industry as well.
Okay.
We do have application lab, we do have microbial lab. Our products passes the European standards, and also our product passes the JECFA standards as well. We have ISO ISO FSMS and ISO 22000 as well.
Okay. What quality control measures does your company implement to ensure product consistency and safety?
Our process is designed to maintain the food grade standards. The starting from the process 1 to the process 10. all the measures are taken, and there's a production supervisor who maintains every batch record. And our technical head and my elder brother Darshit Gandhi is in charge of QC and also an R&D for product development. We are own in-house microbial lab where each batch is checked to ensure that it passes the food standards.
Okay. How does the company manage waste and byproducts generated during the manufacturing process?
Uh, some waste we do use it for our agriculture use. We do not get that much of waste, but which is commercially. We have an extra land where we use this carrot seaweed waste, which is a good fertilizer to grow our plants and everything.
Okay. Sir, what kind of after sales support and technical assistance does your company provide to its customers?
Uh, Technical product. Without sales support or without service, no one would buy your Carrageenan. And people would get the buyer is gets handicapped if we do not give after sales service. So if there is an issue with the recipe, we properly guide them. If they want us to come and take a trial of their batch of their end product and add our Carrageenan, we do give them support as well. Sometimes when it is not viable, we do a Zoom meeting and make them understand how to use our Carrageenan and make them understand what is the benefit of imported Carrageenan and what is benefit of chemicalized Carrageenan. Not just price wise, but we have data that we have reduced the dosage of Carrageenan and make the product also a better texture than the imported product.
Okay. Are there any unique or patented technologies that your company has developed, sir?
Uh, there are the extraction is simple and it's a normal extraction process, but we do have a brand Chemi Gel, which is a trademark for us, and we have registered trademark with the government of India.
Okay. Can you tell us about yourself, sir, your background and what made you take an
Yeah,
interest in
I
this?
myself, Ishan Gandhi. Uh, uh, I graduated from Mumbai University in marketing and finance, and then I did financial planning. For 1 year, I was in Africa learning about marketing and doing business with my uncle for import export. We did some food products and other. It was a divisional like food products, also like yeah, spare parts of the automobiles. After coming from Africa, I started little bit of trading of this food ingredients like aspartams or sweeteners or then carrageenan as well. And we started little by little bit and then started a process by hiring a consultant. And we are now around 13 to 14 years old company.
That's very interesting, sir. Thank you very much. We have now completed the round of questions on behalf of Agriculture
Yeah, thank you
Information.
very much, ma'am. And it was really pleasure being yes a genuine host of this meeting. And I would be happy if you all have learned something from me, and it would be a great achievement if you would have been happy with my session. Thank you, sir. Thank
You're
you very much.
welcome, sir. The session was really very interesting and it will be useful to our members, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.